Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Sandra. 我是 Sandra，你们的老师。Welcome to Community Mandarin，欢迎，and of course，大家好。Yes, I can do it in a different order 大家好啊，你们好吗？你们那里的天气好吗？So，你们那里 where you are, where you live 的天气的 weather 好吗？Is it good? So how is the weather over there? Hopefully it's also 很好. Of course, last week, 上个星期, we did 2 sessions on basically the seasonal change. One is on 夏时制 the daylight saving time, and the other is about 春天来了 spring has come. And today, let's circle back to what we were working on before that, and then let's learn one very important and also commonly used as a Mandarin 常用的偏旁. 偏旁, if you still remember, it means radical or component, depending on which one your Mandarin teacher prefer to use. But basically, it means parts we use to form Chinese characters, 汉字. And sometimes those 偏旁, they carry their own meanings, and that will lend a hand in your understanding to understand the whole Chinese character. Yeah, we did quite a few. First, let's take a look at where we left last time. It was here. We learned 人, 单人旁, as in, representing a human. And then we've learned the difference between 三点水, 3 dots of water, 两点水, 2 dots of water, and 四点水, 4 dots of water. And today, let's move on to another very important as well as very 常用, commonly used one, which is 言字旁. You can see in red on the screen, 言字旁. So what does 言字旁 represent? And what meaning does it bring to a character that uses 言字旁? Let's take a look. 我们看一下. There we go. So 言字旁, it looks like the Chinese character 言, which is a part of a very commonly used word 语言, which means speech. So usually when we see 言字旁, it would imply that the character has something to do with speech. The 2-stroke version we're using belongs to the system of simplified Chinese. We call it 简体字. And then you would also see a very skinny version of the character 言 serving as the radical, as the 偏旁. And then that's the traditional Chinese way of writing 言字旁. Let me give you an example. There we go. So, what is this little phrase? I believe chances are you already know that because if you learn Mandarin for a bit, you probably use that phrase quite a few. So, 请跟我读, it is 说话. 说话. 说话 is a verb. It means speak. It was my poor choice to use a very light shade of lime green to highlight the 言字旁 in both characters. But you can probably vaguely see 说 and 话 both has 言字旁. And then as you can see, 说话 means speak. So literally that's a character or 2 characters related to 言字旁. What 言字旁 represent? Speech. Yes, speech. And next up, let's look at the traditional Chinese way of writing the same characters, which they look like this. And this time, I chose another very light shade of orange, 橙色, but you can see in traditional Chinese character system, 言字旁 literally look like a skinny version of the Chinese character 言. Okay, so 说话. So some might ask, why do we need like 2 characters to represent the verb speak. So here is something, if you haven't known before, after the session you will know. If we break down 说 and 话, actually 说 is the verb of speak and 话 is the noun, it means speech. So when we use 说话, it does not just mean verb to speak. It means to speak a speech. If that's not too weird when we put it in English. Well, the reason I break them down, like split them in the middle, is because there are some useful phrases to be learned, and it definitely helps if we know what is a noun. It means speech. All right. We're looking at 4 phrases. Technically, the last one is kind of almost like a sentence. It's just missing a subject, missing a someone. But okay, first let's read along. 请跟我读 the first phrase. 第一个，说好话，说好话。第二个 the second one. 说坏话，说坏话。The third one, 第三个，说笑话，说笑话。Last but not least, the fourth one, 第四个，说了1个小时的话，说了1个小时的话。So as you can see, there are all a little bit like variations of the phrase we just learned, 说话. And let's see what they mean. The first one, 第一个, it should be pretty easy because we all know how means good, right? So if we speak a good speech, and usually it's about someone, so what do you think the phrase would mean? 什么意思? And probably it's not hard to guess. It means if you 说好话 about someone, it means you speak highly of somebody, of course, according to the screen. And of course, it can also mean you put in a good word for someone. So usually we would say 说 somebody 的好话 means talking positively about someone and paint a positive light. And next one, 第二个, we have 说坏话. We've learned 坏 is the opposite of 好. So 坏 bad. If you speak about some bad speech about someone, like, well, that's bad English, but yeah, that's literally what the phrase means. So if you speak badly about someone, it basically means you speak ill of someone. Like you said something that might smear someone's name. So 说坏话. Like talk behind someone's back, smear someone's reputation. That would 说坏话, the phrase means. Okay, and the next one, 说笑话. So I'm not sure everybody has learned what is 笑, but if you're not, no problem. We're going to quickly talk about 笑 as a verb. It means to laugh. So first, let's ignore the verb part for a second, and then see what is 笑话. 笑话 is a speech, as in we just established 话 means speech. So it's a speech that makes people laugh. It's a speech that inspire or cause for laughter. So 笑话 is joke. So 说笑话, of course, it means to tell a joke. All right. And last but not least, 第四个, we have 说了1个小时的话. So 1个小时, if you still remember when we were learning about like time, 1个小时 means an hour, right? So if we say someone 说了1个小时的话, it means this someone delivers a speech that is the length. Yes, that is the length of an hour. So 说了1个小时的话 means talk for an hour, speak for an hour. And of course, this length of time can be replaced with basically any length of time you see fit and any length of time when you're trying to use this phrase. If you talk for 10 minutes, you can say 说了10分钟的话. If you want to be exaggerating, like say that person just keeps talking, he talks for a whole day. Well, that's not physically possible, but it can be a way of exaggeration. You can literally say, 他说了一天的话. He talks for a whole day. Okay, so that's it for today, guys, and thanks for tuning in. Today we briefly touched base with you about the radical component, 偏旁 in English, in Mandarin, about speech, which is called 言字旁. And I believe we have another very commonly used 偏旁 to tackle next time. And after that, we're gonna stop this 偏旁 session for a bit and then bring some new content. What do you say? All right. Thanks for tuning in, of course, and we'll see you this Thursday. 这个星期四，再见。